Put down that lobster roll. It's time to go fishing for Chuuls. Welcome back to Heroes and Whiskey. My name is Tim. We are printing through the D&D 5e Monster Manual. If you need some background, there's a link to the intro video down in the description. And today, the monster is the Chuul. So let's head on over to my mini factory and see what Chuuls we can come up with. So as it turns out, there aren't many. There's this one from Archvillain Games. Now this is actually $10 for 3 of them. Archvillain was where we got our Aboleth. They saved us in the midst of the Aboleth crisis, and they really do some great work. For these 3 models, a couple of them, they're all different, and so a couple of them have these kind of bony things on their heads. And this one, honestly, this one was the one I was like, oh, I kind of feel like I have to do this one because it feels really threatening and has that Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean look to it. And then the other Chuul that jumped out is this one from Loot. So this is the rare mini that Loot sells on my mini factory. And so, man, between the two, this is really a toss-up. I could really go either way between this guy and this guy, but I think I'm a little more of a traditionalist in this sense. I'm looking for a lobster with a squid face, and so that's what this guy is. So we're going to download this one from Loot and print it out and see how it comes out. Okay, so the Chuul is printed out. It looks great. Like I say that every single time. No, it does look really good. There were no issues printing it whatsoever. The only thing that I'll have to say is that while I love the base, the legs did not line up perfectly right with the little holes where they were supposed to go on the base, and so actually gluing it down was kind of precarious because you'll see when we zoom in, there's 4 very, very small points of contact between the feet and the base, but overall this thing looks great, and I think that actually kind of adds to what I love about it. So let's pop it on the turntable and take a closer look. All right, so, when you think of a Chuul, which is something I know that we all think about a lot, you think about a monster with a squid mouth, and this figure definitely delivers on that promise. I really like the contrast of the giant claws and the tiny feet, which you can almost hear like tick, tick, ticking along the ground as it attacks your party. The claws and the shell, they look like they would be tough and hard to chop through. As I said, the base is also great. It fits kind of my perfect definition of a base, which is it has some style and it complements the model, but it doesn't necessarily commit to a context. I do think that maybe overall the model may be a tad large. I think Chuuls are supposed to be about 8 feet long, and this is definitely bigger than that. But what I like about it is that it's not so big. It feels like it would be a serious battle for one character, and it would be a good mid-sized challenge for a whole party. In terms of resources, if you get this on my mini factory, it's $7. Took about 3 hours 45 to print, including the base. And so we are now up to 3 days and 16 hours worth of printing. So that's the Chuul from Loot. Again, I really like the contrast of the tiny points of contact and then the big lobster body. I think that's really cool. It's something I haven't seen a whole lot of. But that's the Chuul. And so next up, we're printing a cloaker.